Hi guys, welcome to my knitting YouTube channel. I've been meaning to start a knitting YouTube channel for a while, and I feel like this is a good opportunity to start on a new page showing everything that I knit in 2023. So this video is going to be roughly chronological, and it's also going to be split up into categories, which I'm gonna try and timestamp if I know how to do that. All right, okay. So starting off, the first thing that I like officially finished this year, even though I cast it on the year before, is the Moby sweater by Petite Knit. Yeah, this was super popular this year, I feel, but a lot of people have mentioned, the gauge of this is slightly small. So I knit this in Peer Gynt tweed, and it's a size medium, but I feel like it's probably a size extra small by all of Petite Knit's other sizes. Like, it doesn't have that much positive ease, which I feel is a good contrast to the rest of the sweaters that you'll see, because I like them to be quite oversized. But yeah, I feel like this was quite a good challenging knit for me, because I started knitting midway through 2022, so by this stage I'd only been knitting for probably a couple months, which is kind of reflected by the fact that I messed up the cables on the back and didn't go back to redo them. But all in all, I think it's a pretty nice sweater. I don't really wear this that much because of the cables at the back, but the stitch definition of the yarn is really nice. Yeah, and I'm very happy with the neckline of this. Following on with like the white chunky sweater theme that you'll see. Yeah, this is sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, which is made up of purely knits and purls, which makes this really cool pattern. I wore this a lot at the beginning of 2023 because this is a super chunky sweater, because I knit this in Drops Nepal and Kid Silk, and yeah, that's a lot thicker than the gauge that they recommend, which I think would be more similar to like a DK weight and a mohair. But the reason why I haven't worn this so much this winter is because for some stupid reason I cut my hair in this sweater, and I can't like remove the little pieces of hair that are caught in the mohair of this sweater, and I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, it's super nice, super cozy, and the mohair, I think, in this is really soft and nice. Yeah, for all of the garments today, I will mention the yarn combination, but I don't know any of the yarn colors. And for most of them, they're going to be drops anyway. And another thing is I haven't depilled any of these because I don't own a depiller, but yeah, I guess that can show you the wear of the sweaters. For this, I don't think there's that much wear, but Drops Nepal, for the other garments that I've knit with, does pill really badly. Yeah, okay, so next, the Marseille sweater by Petite Knit. This is probably one of my favorite things that I've made this year. I knit this in like, I forget the name of it. It's Schoppel's Crazy Zauberball, I think, which is a self-striping yarn. I think it's a sock yarn, actually. So that's where the stripes in this is coming from, and I just paired it with Drops mohair. The Marseille sweater originally is a striped sweater where you alternate the colors yourself, but yeah, this kind of creates more of a like abstract stripe, which I really like. I wear this all the time. I wore this yesterday. Yeah, I really like the fit of this sweater, and I would definitely make another, but the construction of how you cast it on is a little bit off to me. Like, you cast it on with a provisional cast on, which makes it unnecessarily difficult, in my opinion. So yeah, but the overall product, I think, looks really nice and expensive. This is vaguely inspired by the Acne Studios sweaters that I've seen a lot of this year or last year. Yeah, and I just tried to remake that. I did actually cast on another Marseille sweater, but this was a little bit of a flop because I cast this on in Drops Baby Merino, and it was on 3mm needles, so it took so long. Like, especially parts where it said, you know, knit for 20 centimeters, it just took ages and was really demotivating. So I made it into a little top rather than a sweater. I don't wear this that much, even though it is kind of cute now looking at it. Okay, maybe I should wear this more, but if I do wear this, I usually just wear it so that the neckline sticks out of a V-neck shirt, so something like this. Yeah, I don't really know why I don't wear this more. Maybe I should. Yeah, so that is technically a sweater, but I've just made it into a t-shirt, which brings us on to, I think, this sweater, which was just made up of some scrap yarn. This was completely freehand. Yeah, I knit this in a fingering weight cotton on 6mm needles, so it is really see-through, which is kind of nice for the summer. The neckline and the ribbing, I doubled up. I held the yarn double, so it's a little bit thicker. But yeah, I also don't really wear this that much either because it's really cold in the UK, so I can't. There are, you know, probably about 2 months where I can wear this comfortably and not be cold. I realize now that I skipped over 2 gift knits, which I don't have in my pile, but I'll speak about briefly, which both of them are Petite Knits zipper sweaters, or zipper sweater man, one of which I made for my boyfriend at the start of the year. It was supposed to be a Christmas gift, and then I got a little bit lazy and I knit it a bit too short, so I had to rip it out and redo it. That was knit in Drops Nepal. So when I was saying earlier that Drops Nepal pills really badly, that's the sweater that has been pilling really badly. And I want to buy a depiller so that I can depill that sweater. Yeah, that was the first sweater where I think I did, you do Judy's Magic cast on to cast it on, which is a type of provisional cast on. And there was a step in the pattern where I accidentally flipped it inside out. So the bands where you seam down the sweater were inside out. So what should have been hiding the zipper of the sweater on the inside was on the outside. But it didn't look bad, I don't think. And my boyfriend wears it all the time and looks really good in it. So win-win. Also defeated the sweater curse, so I can knit more garments for him in the future. My boyfriend does wear that a lot, but the person that I knit the second zipper sweater man for, which was my dad, does not wear his at all. But I'm really happy with the finished product of his, which I'll try and insert photos of. I'll cut him some slack because he lives in a hot climate, but if he doesn't wear it this year, I'm taking it back. Yeah, I think those were my only 2 gift knit sweaters. I was supposed to knit a Ingrid sweater for my sister, but I gave up on that. So my last sweater is probably my proudest, I would say, of this year. This is the Barbie Aran sweater, I think, by Bana Knits, which, I don't know, I think this looks really good, in my opinion. I didn't mess up the cables this time on the back like I did with the Moby sweater, and I was searching for a while for a pattern that had like that diamond cable in the middle, because I have been super obsessed, or well, in 2023 I was quite obsessed with Gilmore Girls, as I'm sure a lot of other people were, and the sweater that Rory wears in the first season and first episode is really similar to this, and I wanted to remake it, but I wasn't entirely sure on how people made those diamond cables. So yeah, I think this actually turned out super well. I did make a couple modifications to this, one of which was knitting the sleeves quite a bit longer and changing the cuff to a folded stockinette, and changing the neckline. So I just knit a little bit of rib, knit a little bit of stockinette, and then it rolled over, just to make it more similar to the Gilmore Girls sweater. I got mohair in my mouth. Yeah, also a reoccurring theme is that I don't weave in any of the ends of my sweaters, so that's why you see the ends of the neck. Yeah, this was such a fun pattern. I was completely hooked knitting this. And also the yarn that I've used, I really like, and I want to knit in again. It's Gepard Woolia, which I bought from my Ivory Room. And it's super soft, and yeah, I think it's held up pretty nicely because I wear this a lot and I don't think it's pilled too badly, like especially on the sides where you usually get quite a bit of pilling. I haven't gotten too much. Yeah, there is a little bit on the sleeves, but I think that's pretty good for a very soft, yeah, soft yarn. I definitely want to knit in that yarn again this year. So yeah. All right, I think that's sweaters out of the way. I don't have that many summer knits. I have 3. Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of knitting camisoles in wool. I just don't think it makes that much sense. So yeah, I don't really do that many summer knits, but the one like camisole that I knit properly this year was this one, which is a freehand thing that I made. Oops, nice. It is kind of lace-esque. I can't really remember what I did for this now, but I think I cast it on from the bottom up. So I cast on, this was the cast on edge. And yeah, I did some repeat of yarn over and yarn together. So this is rib, and then I'm guessing I picked up stitches on the side and knit it in stockinette, but in a different direction. And I crocheted a border around the side. Yeah, sorry, that's a really bad explanation, but I basically just freehanded this and it worked out. I knit this in Socks Yeah yarn on 2.25 millimeter needles, which was really painful. Knitting an entire garment on yarn that, you know, is used for socks. But I was away for like a month and a half. So this kept me occupied over summer. Yeah, it actually turned out really successfully. I have yet to wear this yet, which is a shame because it looks great. Yeah, this is inspired by the Cuckoo Intimates tank tops that like all of the celebrities wear. It doesn't really look the same, but it's cute. Yeah, the other summer top that I made was this one by oh, I completely forget her name now. Yeah, it's called the Thine Own pattern, but I can't remember who made it. I also haven't worn this yet, but it's a little tube top that's made to measure. It, I this technically isn't a finished object, and neither is the next one because I haven't inserted the string that's supposed to tie the top. Um, yeah, I mean, it's cute. I will try and wear this sometime during the summer. This is knit in Drops Daisy because the next piece that I have is the Nata dress by Ullin Knitwear. And I knit that in Drops Daisy and I had a little bit left over. So this is, I knit it that, the version that has like a normal back, and I knit it in a mini length. Yeah, I really do like this pattern and I think it's super flattering. The only thing is, I got lazy again and I didn't knit it long enough. So technically this isn't a finished object because I had to cut and need to reknit probably about 5 centimeters to the bottom. But I wore this for my birthday dinner this year, and I thought it was really cute and kept me nice and warm in late October. So yeah, it's really cute. And I'll wear it a lot more once I get around to knitting it to an appropriate length, I think. Yeah, I think for the most part that's garments done. Like wearable sweaters and stuff. So I only have accessories left. Two of which are also gift knits. I knit 2 Oslo hats this year, one for my boyfriend and one for my sister, which I will try and insert somewhere. Yeah, the Oslo hat that I knit for my sister was knit in the same Drops Daisy that I knit the tube top and the dress in. And my sister wears that quite a lot, even though I don't think she's a massive beanie person. My boyfriend also wears his beanie a lot. Yeah, I knit his in Double Sunday, one of the petite knit colors, I think. And that was super, super nice to knit with. So I'll probably end up making more beanies this year in the same yarn. But for garments that I kept for myself, one of the garments that I made was this super long scarf, which I have ended up wearing a bunch this year. It's made in some paint box yarn, acrylic, chunky weight yarn, in a bright blue color. And yeah, it's nice and long. Bright scarves have been in a lot, I feel, in 2023. So yeah, I have stayed on trend, I think. I did this following Handmade by Florence's kilometer scarf pattern. I followed it quite loosely. I just cast on the amount of stitches that I wanted, in a yarn weight that I wanted. And I think I cast on about 80 stitches. So it's actually like a double double-sided tube. I've since thrown this in the wash and it hasn't worn super well, but I mean, it's clean and I feel like that's the thing that matters. This has kept me super warm this winter and also super fashionable, I think. Yeah. This didn't take me too long because I knit this on 6mm needles. So I think this took me a couple days, even though it's a really long scarf. Yeah, okay. Following on in the same vein, another Handmade by Florence pattern that I knit this year was the Mountain Walk socks, which I knit in Isager sock yarn. I won't get too close to the camera for this one because they're filthy. I wear these a lot at home actually because they're super, super warm. And yeah, I should have expected knitted socks to be warm, I guess, but these like make my feet sweat when they would have been, you know, freezing cold if I hadn't worn socks. The pattern of it is really nice. They're made with faux cables. And yeah, this is my first sock pattern, but I'm probably gonna make more this year, I think. It was a good beginner's sock, and a good like introduction sock for me. Yeah, so from the Isager sock yarn, I had some leftover yarn. Actually, I'll talk about this later, but yeah, I made a beanie for myself. I don't know what to say about this. I don't think it's that cute, but I was thinking of drawing on it. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about this. I didn't follow pattern or anything, but I was inspired by the Arc'teryx beanies because I live in London and I feel like a lot of people wear those beanies. So I want to draw on this beanie and make it kind of cuter. Yeah, I have nothing to say about that. What I was going to speak about was these gloves, which are my last finished object. I finished these in the last week of January, and they are made in the same sock yarn as the socks because I had some left over. Yeah, but these are Maison Margiela inspired tabby gloves, but I've made them into mittens and I think they're super cool, but I think people also find them kind of disgusting. But yeah, they also keep my hands super warm, and it's recently dropped down to like single digits / negative digits in the UK, so keeping my fingers nice and warm. The only thing is though that I've done a really bad job at weaving in ends, and I need to fix that. But yeah, these were a freehand pattern freehanded knit, and they worked out pretty well, I think. So I might write up a pattern for these just for free, just to test my pattern writing abilities. But yeah, cute. Yeah, video done. I hope you enjoyed the knits that I've made today or over the last year, but I'm probably gonna upload more videos following the general knitting podcast scheme of things. So finished objects, whips, and yarn acquisitions. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. I don't know how people finish off videos, but see ya, bye.